This is Olivia Titus on May 10th, 2024, and I am with Phyllis Myers with Danville's Oral History Project. So, do I have your permission to record to you and introduce the interview?
Yes,
Perfect. So, Phyllis, how old are you?
I am 60.
Oh, wow.
Is that a good oh wow or like a oh wow?
That's a good one.
Okay, I thought so.
You're
Yeah.
fantastic for your age.
Oh, thank you.
So, where and when were you born?
I was born in Davenport, Iowa
Oh, wow.
in 1963.
Okay. So, when did you first move to Danville then, and how long have you been here?
I have been here about 2 years.
Okay.
I moved to Danville in the summer of 2022.
Oh, so what exactly brought you to Danville?
Well, I accepted a job at the Danville Public Library as the Indiana Room Manager back in March of 2022 and moved here shortly after.
Okay. So, what were some of your first impressions about Danville when you moved here?
I felt that it was a very friendly community. I like that it has kind of a quaint, small town friendly atmosphere, but yet it's also so close to Indianapolis, which is growing, that there's the convenience of being by a city the size of Indianapolis, but yet it maintains its own.
Small town charm?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like a
That's
great blend of the two. I love Ellis Park, which is very big and really pretty, a lot of activities. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's always something going on here. Lots of fun activities put on by different community organizations. So I fell in love with Danville right away.
That is wonderful. So, you mentioned Ellis Park, and I think I would consider that like a bit of a local landmark. So, how would you say like Ellis Park and some of the other like local landmarks have changed around here?
Um, well, some of the local landmarks, how have they changed? I would say that there's a lot of history around the square. And even though the businesses have changed through the years, a lot of the owners have tried to maintain the original charm of the buildings. For example, the theater is amazing. They've worked very hard to combine the new technology with the old charm and the history, and they keep a collection of different things they found. Several of the businesses walking in, they have that historic kind of look to them, which I think adds to the charm of the entire community.
Yeah. And like you mentioned a bit of theater, like some of the historic things that they found. Like, where are some of those things that they have found that you've seen like really interested in?
Well, when you walk in the first area, there's a display case that is filled with treasures that they have uncovered as they've been remodeling. A lot of them, I'm not sure if anybody really knows what some of these things are,
Yeah,
but
lots of time.
they're great about preserving history and sharing what they've found. There's a lot of things on their website, which is really fun to look through. Another thing that I like is the historic homes in the area. There's a lot of beautiful historic homes here in Danville, and people try hard to preserve the history, like what you're doing, which is awesome. Also, Hargrave Hall from Central Normal College, Canterbury College, is an amazing building. The museum
Right.
is wonderful. Love the museum. The small town newspaper, which a lot of communities this size, the newspapers are no longer publishing. So the Republican does a great job, and then there's the weekly newspapers. So I think it's a really great community. It's has a lot of unique features from the past and modern features.
It's a little blend of both worlds, yeah. So, are you? I know you mentioned a couple places like you were part of like the library, and I think you mentioned the museum too. So, are you part of like any organizations around the town, and what do they do? What do you do in them?
Well, I volunteer for the museum,
Mhm.
and I've also done some archiving work for them. We just finished up Dancing with the Stars, which is a fundraiser,
Ooh,
annual fundraiser for the museum, which you can look on their website or their Facebook page. It was an amazing experience. They do a wonderful job. I am in the process of joining a sorority,
oh,
which started, it's a local sorority. It started back at the college, the Central Normal
okay.
College, and it's almost 75 years since the college shut down, but the sorority is still meeting, which is because they have amazing members and
That is some dedication.
it is. These ladies are in their 90s and they know so much about the history that it's like actually stepping back in time. And
Wow.
I love listening to their stories. Actually, we will have a meeting later today.
Oh,
So I'm looking forward to that.
so what does like sorority do around Danville? Do you know like what they kind of do like without getting like into like the super secret stuff that you can't tell?
Well, I think everything is. I don't think there's any secrets now because both they've donated to both the library and the museum.
Okay.
Their rules and their history, and they supported an awesome teachers college, which has made an incredible difference in our community to countless students that they've helped train by training the teachers. And so at this point, they're preserving the history of all these amazing people and what the college did.
So I know you only been here for 2 years, but do you know like about any sort of tragedies that the town has faced in the past or even recently?
Well, for tragedy, now, can I jump back? I
Yeah,
thought of
yeah,
a
of
couple
course,
things that
yeah,
I forgot to mention.
of course,
So
yeah.
let's see, I have some notes here that I'm looking at. And I also do a column for the newspaper.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you didn't know that?
Oh no, yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
What's your column about?
the column is called A Simple Seeker,
Mhm.
and I go around and I visit different churches in the area, which has been a great way to meet people and find out what all the different churches are doing to support the community and within their congregation. So that's been a lot of fun.
How many
So,
churches have you been to so far?
my, I am not sure, but I started at the end of last summer, I believe. So I'll say going on maybe a dozen at this point. So
Oh,
I have still a lot to go to, but a
and
variety of different churches.
oh wow.
getting to hear what they're doing. So I am covering all of Hendricks County.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask,
So,
like, is it just Danville churches?
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, wow.
So
That is quite a few
it
voices you
is.
have to go through.
I have no idea how many. I'm going to guess dozens because it's a safe guess.
Fair
I've
enough.
never
There
counted
are,
it up, but
yeah,
what?
taking a brief glance through each town, or the biggest towns have, yeah, like I said, at least a
Several,
dozen
and
each.
even the small towns, like, so I was in charge of Union Township for the Bicentennial book, and they have two, three, four churches in just little Liston. So there's a lot
Wow.
of small churches
Mm-hmm.
in the smaller communities that really I haven't sat down and counted them, but that's a lot of fun, and I learn about some amazing things. For example, the one of the churches in Liston for the eclipse, they they have a park that
Mm-hmm.
they maintain, and they painted the lines for the basketball court, and then they were playing cornhole, and all that stuff was painted glow in the dark. So that the moment
That's
of the
so fun.
eclipse, yeah, I mean, just doing such creative, fun things.
Yeah.
It's so fun to hear about and learn what different places are doing.
And you mentioned you were writing a bicentennial like book. Like, you
Well, I'm just contributing to
contributing to
it.
it, yeah.
So the Bicentennial Committee is going to be putting out a book later this year, and the chapters are divided by so it's for Hendricks County,
Yeah.
but it's divided by township, and it's very exciting. I think it's going to be amazing.
All
So
right.
it's an honor to have been part of that. Uh, let's see.
All right, do you
Tell me something about local. Were you skipping around, or
yeah.
oh, are
Everything
you
has to be
skipping
yeah, nothing
around?
has to be directly in order, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So I
If
I've
that's
got my
okay with
notes in
you.
order. Yeah, no, that's great. So I'll just skip to where you're at. So
I know I mentioned like a
for
tragedy that took place,
yeah,
but if you want to
for
talk about
tragedy, I am going to pick the 1948 Good Friday tornado. So I've been researching that a little bit.
I've heard a bit about that myself, but yeah, I'd like to hear some of your perspective on it.
So my notes show that the American Legion lent out chainsaws that were borrowed from the U.S. War Assets Administration, and everybody kind of pitched in and was helping, and Bell Telephone uh, was moved to the RAMC electric building, and the lady who was in the office at the time running the phone system, because back in those days you had to have the operator do the, I'm going to say exchange, I'm probably saying it wrong, but you couldn't make calls the way we do now. She had to work the switchboard, and as scary as that was, through that entire thing she stayed to keep the phones open so the emergency people would be able to stay in communication. And the Hendricks County Republican printed the Coatesville Herald newspaper to help them because
Oh,
they were wiped out. Everybody was helping everyone. So, Coatesville Grade School and the First National Bank in Danville were Red Cross relief centers. And I talked to Joyce Humphreys, who is 91. She remembers when this happened.
man.
And she has always attended, from my understanding, I hope I say all this right, the Danville Christian Church. And since it was Good Friday,
Were people in a church
church, well, there was the Good Friday church service, and she remembers there being 300, maybe 400 people in that sanctuary until 3 o'clock. And they had just gone home, and when the tornado hit, the top of that sanctuary had a stained glass dome.
Mm-hmm.
It was geometric shapes. I've never seen a picture. I would love to see a picture of it. I've heard it was beautiful, and it just trashed the roof. And
I'm glad no one was in there.
yes, so people had just gone home. And then after that, while it was being repaired, which they could not afford to replace all that stained glass, so it was just, it's now a solid dome. But they met at the Masonic Temple because they couldn't meet in the church. So the way the community came together and everyone pitched in and helped everyone else, I think it just reflects what a great community this is.
Most definitely. So, on a more lighter side, can you tell me about any like celebrations or even, happy events that Danville's held?
Can you tell me which question number you're on? Because I have notes and that'll make it easier for me.
That would be like just 2 questions up. Number 11.
Okay, 11. Celebrations or events. So I've attended the last 2 St. Patrick's Day fountain dyeing events with leprechauns and bagpipes. Easter week activities include Easter egg hunts at several churches. Danville Christian Church had Lenten lunches throughout Lent on Mondays, and the Catholic Church had fish fries on Fridays. The Danville Christian Church, I can tell you, had an Easter sunrise service, then a community breakfast, and then an Easter egg hunt, and then worship service. So lots of activities. Ellis Park has a huge Easter egg hunt. The Methodist, Episcopal, and Downtown Christian Churches will be joining together for Vacation Bible School. I've been in the homecoming parade with the library, and
does the museum participate in the homecoming parade?
That is a great question. I am not sure because, well, last year, I'm not sure where I was. I may have been out of town with family issues during that time. But so I'm not sure. And before that, I was working for
the library.
Here. Okay. So I would have been here. My shirt I'm wearing is from the town spring cleanup, which I always try to volunteer with. The Indiana Lions basketball games are fun and exciting to go to. We're so lucky to have them. The senior center has a whole list of activities and special programs that they're always doing. There's something around the square, like Destination Danville, or the what is it where everybody sells the
farmers market?
Yeah, the farmers market, the car shows, the First Friday car shows. There's so many things going on there. Little League games. I love watching the games. Library programs. Museum activities. There's always some Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts do a lot of fun activities. The fair. There's just always so much to do and so many great groups and so many great people here.
That's awesome. Like, I know you've mentioned quite a few like spring and some summer ones. Like, what about winter? Like, I know you mentioned
Christmas on the Square is amazing.
About that, yeah.
Have you've not been to that?
I've not.
Oh wow! So that's where, you totally should go. It's so awesome. I think I've been to both of those. So that's where they light the Christmas tree. That's the big Christmas tree there on the square.
Right.
Light it for the first time. But before that, there will be activities, which lots of different organizations help with. The church had a little candy house where they gave away goodie bags for the Danville Christian Church. I was actually dressed up working at the museum, which was giving special tours. So I was
Oh,
dressed up as an old-fashioned caroler. There's games, there's booths to buy stuff, there's lots of fun things around the square, and it's packed. It is a great night. You should go. It's so fun.
I'll have to.
Yeah.
Is there anything like for fall? I guess I know you mentioned homecoming,
Well,
but
yes,
is there anything
fall.
else like?
Oh
How about
yeah,
Halloween?
the Halloween on the square,
Ooh.
which has trunk or treat,
Mhm.
and the Danville Christian Church was in charge of the trunk or treat part this year, but I was also volunteering dressed up at the museum. We
Oh,
were
what was that
giving
like?
tours
It's a little more tourists and anything else
for
spooky.
that and had it open special. For Halloween, let me think. It was decorated. And of course, what's really popular because it's so unique, it's so cool, is the jail. And at
Oh,
Halloween, when people are dressed up, they like to get social media pictures there in the jail. So that's always kind of a fun part of
been a
the
little
activities.
kind of spooky jail time, yeah.
There, yes, there's, I think, food trucks and booths and games and different groups passing out candy. So there's always so much going on at these things. So
Yeah. Was there? Do you know if there's anything that the town does for Fourth of July? And you know, like most other holidays that they seem to have, Easter, Halloween, Christmas. Do you know if there's anything that the town does for Fourth of July or some of the organizations?
so because my parents are older
Mm-hmm.
and mom passed away earlier this year,
Sorry about
I've
that.
been out of town a
Mm-hmm.
lot. So I think I have actually, I know July for sure, I was helping with
Right.
my family a lot. So I am not sure on that. I don't think I've been able to be in town for those things.
Well, hopefully this year you will be able to, and I'm not sure, and maybe report back eventually about if there is anything that, I don't know, the museum or any of the churches or just the town in general can do for Fourth of July.
Well, I would think, I'm thinking there's fireworks, and I'm not sure who puts it on, just because it's kind of been a crazy time the last
Yeah, I
couple
am.
years.
I am sorry about your
Oh,
mom.
yeah, thanks.
Although not, or can't remember about you mentioning the jail and kind of the tours, and I think you also mentioned Hargrave Hall too. So like, if we went on to
Yeah.
like question 18, like
Okay,
if you're kind of
18. Oh,
understanding,
wait a minute,
do you know about
18?
yeah,
There's an
urban
18? How
yeah.
many questions are there? Questions for people who moved to Danville.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Yeah.
only went through 15.
Oh
I
my.
have no idea what
So like,
started any
do you know
organizations
any
in
like
town. Any urban
urban
legends?
legends? Yeah, do you know?
Wow. You know what? I only went through
Oh
15. I
my.
did not realize that there were more questions, so I am not
Oh.
prepared for that. I'm sorry,
That is
I'm going to
okay.
have to
Sometimes
pass because
okay.
I thought I finished. Wow. Goodness. Either that or it didn't print. Um, I'm actually not prepared for that.
Yeah. Fine. So I guess then we could probably maybe go to question 7. Like
So,
when yeah, it's like when you I know you've only been here for a couple of years, but what was Danville like when you first moved here and how was it changed to now? Like,
okay, so Danville seems to be growing, but much of the original history is being preserved. So I love that the beautiful historic homes and the charming architecture and businesses. Hargrave Hall, although it served not only as colleges, the schools for the school children, and as a government center, There's still a display case with history that the museum maintains, I believe, and even though we are growing and there's new subdivisions, I think the charming mix of old and new really makes this a unique community. Let's see, the museum, small town newspaper, all those things kind of give us a unique sort of charm.
Would you say there's any place in Danville that's your favorite place to like go or your favorite thing to do?
Oh my, I like to walk around Ellis Park.
Oh,
I
okay.
just think it's really pretty and people are so friendly and such a nice place to walk. I want to say, is it Blanton Woods? The
That's
re Oh, I'm not sure if you've been there.
I actually have been,
Blanton's
so
house.
yeah.
Okay. Back there, hiking back there is really beautiful. There is just not one place. There's so many great little restaurants and parks and activities around town and special places that I just really can't pick one.
Hmm. I mean, that's fair. I know you've mentioned some restaurants. I've been to some of these restaurants too, but like, I've not been to all of them. Have you like?
Oh
Is there
no,
any like? Is there any sites, like small places that you haven't mentioned that you kind of secret? You know, kind of like in the corner place that like you what's your favorite restaurant here that you think you've been to so far?
oh my,
Like
that
you've been to.
that is a hard question because so many of them have their special dishes that there's something from each restaurant that is probably my favorite. And I am a little hesitant to actually start mentioning specific restaurants because I know I'll forget somebody and wake up in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. tonight, and I'll think, oh, I should have mentioned that or something. But I think we're really blessed with a lot of small home owned restaurants that is something I think we're kind of famous for too. We instead of just chains, we have a lot of great home owned restaurants.
Right. I know some of them have actually hit some of the both kind of local, like visit Hendricks County things, but also like some of them have gotten into more
Like national,
not
getting national
maybe national, but
recognition.
statewide. Like, oh, this is a really good place to go in Central Indiana, like this small town little restaurant in Danville or Plainfield or someplace like
For
that.
sure.
Yeah. So, what aside from like Ellis Park, what else do you enjoy doing here in Danville? Like, you seem quite like involved in quite a few
Well,
place
for
things.
me, one of the things that I really like to do personally is I go around and I hide money coins
Oh,
around town for children to find.
oh,
And then I'll post a few of them on social media and then it's kind of fun to watch and see how long it takes
for
for it. Yeah.
this day.
So, but I always hide more than what's on social media so that one person can't go around and grab all of
Right.
them. So
That's not a sweet
for
activity.
Easter, I put them in little Easter
Oh,
eggs, and I'm thinking it's about time to go around and do that again. So
yeah.
I just really like doing that.
And I know there's gonna be like holidays coming up, like there's Memorial Day coming up this month too, and it'd be perfect time to maybe do more of that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking I do it every few weeks. So I'm thinking, oh, it's weather's nice, probably time to do it again. Children are going to be getting out of school. So my hope is that children find it, but for anyone.
Yeah. Let's see. So I guess like, is there like any other like positive memory or association you have with Danville, like right now? Like, what's like a really good
What number
memory?
are you on? I
That
can
would
look
be
at my
number
note.
19, but I think
Aha. There's so many things that I really spur the moment cannot just narrow it down to one. I fell in love with Danville when I moved here. It's such a great community. So there's always something going on. There's always something fun.
All right. And I guess like what are you hoping to do with Danville like going forward? Like what are you looking forward to with Danville going forward?
Well, right now, I'm helping prepare for the community vacation Bible school where three of
And
our
which churches?
churches.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's the St. Augustine
huh?
Episcopal Church, which
Okay.
that's Susan's husband, Susan's church
Okay.
downstairs, that works the desk. And then the United Methodist Church,
Okay.
which is the one that has the food pantry. They have
Okay.
clothing, they have a preschool there, they do a lot for the community. And then the Danville Christian Church, and
Okay.
it'll be at the Christian Church this year. And they will be serving dinner each night as part of
Okay.
it.
It's been
So along with
Ferguson.
the activities, so helping a little bit with that. I know the museum has a family day in summer
Do you
where
know when that
last
is?
no, I'd have to Google it. But I know when it is.
Mm.
And last year they had farm animals, really fun,
Cute.
cute time, and they have a lot of special things planned for that.
Yeah. Um, I think the Bible school, like it's been forever since I've went to one myself, but like is there anything
Well, me,
do you know what the theme is like this year? With these things?
it's called Roar, ROAR, exclamation point, and it's kind of a jungle theme. So,
Cute. So like are you
and I've seen some of the PR stuff for it, and it's going to be really fun and really
I
cute.
might look at that myself. I mean, I'm honestly
Well,
too
if
old to go there.
guys volunteer, and I don't know how your class schedule is this summer, but they would be thrilled, and I would be thrilled to introduce you to the right people because there is always something going on. They're going to be giving out candy, little candy bags at the June First Friday car cruising,
Yeah.
and there's all these organizations supporting all these activities and coming together and working together. There is always so much going on. So
And I guess also the theme of December, obviously a huge part of Danville is 4-H fair. Do you know anything you're doing for that? Like if any of the places you
what I'm going to be doing,
yeah, is there anything like any of the organizations that you're with, like do they do something at the fair?
well, yes, I'm confident that they are. I'm kind of focusing more on June next month because that's
Take
what's
1 month
coming
at a
up.
time.
So I am not sure what I'll be doing, but I can't wait to help someplace.
Yeah. Have you worked at the fair like before for anything or
Oh yeah,
yes?
well, yeah, I've been there for several things, and of course, one of them being the library has had
Mm-hmm.
tables that I've worked with. Um, so I love going through and seeing everything, and
Yeah.
it's always fun. It's amazing all the different activities.
Yeah. And I think actually does bring up an interesting idea like what's your favorite thing to do around here during the summer, the spring, is there anything you're looking forward to specifically for June, like between all the shows and the vacation Bible school and the museum stuff?
There's the concerts at the park. Have you been to those
I've
yet?
not you told me nothing about
Those
those.
are. Did I tell you about them?
No.
I haven't. You don't know about the.
No. Yeah,
Okay,
okay, gotta
after we
tell
get
me.
done, I think you would love it.
Okay.
So after we get done, we will have to get on the computer and Google that because I've got those marked. They are awesome. I think this year they have the bands that
Are they
recreate what is it called? Where it's a band, not the actual big famous band, but kind of a copycat band.
someone does covers or something? I know what you're talking about, but I don't know
I
what the
can't
proper
think what the word
term.
is. Yeah. And so it's great music. It's so fun, and they had food trucks, or I've gone with friends and just brought a blanket, and
And these are like local bands, or do they have like
I
some
think
people
they
who are
bring them in
okay?
because they are
But
amazing,
they're like
and
well
it's
known.
always
What?
well,
Yes, no.
they're
It
what is the
depends.
word that I want, because they're the bands that do the like copycat of the big famous
I know who you're
bands. But
talking.
I
Yeah,
can't think of the word. I'll think of it tonight around midnight when I wake up in the middle of the night. But those are really fun, and I would have to check who puts those on, but they're great. We'll have to look those up. And there's one each month, I think.
okay.
So
So when like is there one
th-
that's happened this month or is it going to happen?
let's look it up when we get done
So
here.
when it
So
happened in
that's
April, did you go to the one in April? What?
I no, I don't think they have one in April. It's after the kids are out of school.
Okay, that's fair.
Goodness. There's which also all the school activities. There's always so much to do all year here. So many great organizations, and they all work together, and they host so many activities.
So, and these take place in Ellis Park, or
Well,
take place?
yes, but there may actually be something with the downtown Danville partnership. There's something coming up, and it may, of course, this year with the Bicentennial,
Right.
which means there's even more great stuff happening. They have something I vaguely remember. We'll have to look on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be downtown that they're starting to do some PR on.
Oh.
But no, there's great activities all over.
And
So I can't think of just one because there's always such amazing stuff.
right. And mentioning the bicentennial, is there anything, I guess, surrounding the bicentennial that you're looking forward to as well?
Well, they have a page,
Mm-hmm.
they have a website and a page that anyone can go on and look at all of the bicentennial activities.
Mhm.
So, for example, the Lenten lunches, I filled out a form, and part of those I had a display table with history of the church because
Okay.
it was actually the first gym, from what I understand, here in Danville. The school was kind of
Smaller.
really, really right close by, and the school didn't even have a gym. So, I'm going to say about 1914, perhaps, and I need to check the dates, but when they built on, so originally the church was where the Dairy Queen is, I believe, and it goes way back to the beginning of Danville.
Oh, wow.
Right after the beginning of Danville. But actually, when Danville wasn't corporate, I think the first minister was already living in Hendricks County, farming.
Okay.
And the church kind of started probably meeting in people's homes, and then the first little log cabin building. And then they built a beautiful church building, which then they went back to help because of the needs in the community and having a gym. There was no gym. They kind of remodeled and put the gym in, and that's where the school graduations and games, because even the college didn't have a gym. Uh,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
stuff.
because that came around later. So
Yeah.
yeah, so which is part of what makes Danville so special. All these different organizations, all these churches, all these groups, all these people thinking, okay, how can we help Danville, and what can we do to make Danville such a special place. Oh, let's build a gym in our church and we'll just change everything and remodel the church so we have a gym that everybody can play in.
Do they still have that gym?
The gym is still there. It's rented out for special activities. It's used for different activities. The art center. Help me with the official name of the on the square there.
It's art, like something on the gallery.
Yeah, the gallery square. They have their good at this word, but a day where everybody goes out and paints, and I think they may be holding it at the church. And because if it rains, that date's set, and if the weather's not good, then they need a bigger meeting place. So there are a lot of different organizations. There's a Christian legal lawyers organization that meets there, and I am guessing they do Christian legal stuff. I'm guessing by the name, and different groups that meet there, and I'm sure all the churches are doing things like this, and different organizations are always brainstorming, and people are coming up with new ways to make Danville such a special place. And
yeah, that sounds like a truly fantastic thing. It sounds like even though you haven't been here as long as some other people, that you've definitely are happy to contribute to Danville.
It's an amazing community with amazing people, so there's always something going on.
Like, I know it's like Danville's like kind of motto is a great place to spend like an hour or a lifetime.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Like, are you hoping to make it like one of those lifetime places? For you for
a
lifetime home?
I love Danville, and that wherever God leads me, karma, whatever people want to, I would be thrilled to die here. Hopefully that won't happen real soon.
You're like 60, you have.
No, you're younger than me, thank you. That's, yeah.
I think that's happy. I know it's like not been exactly a full hour, but
we made what, 40 minutes?
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
45.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. And
well, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So excited to watch you blossom as a librarian.
And
so
thank you
excited that you're representing library world as our next generation, and the things you're doing and what you're doing for the history of our community.
Yeah, thank you for helping to essentially write part of the next chapter in Danville's history.
And until you take the reins, so hopefully, being so close to Danville and working here at the library, you're also writing the next chapter.
Yeah, I'm glad to contribute to that. So thank you.